views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB TV.
Well, my girl's got the sweetest pussy.
Welcome to SinCityBounty.com.
Oh my God, we actually do that very well together.
I should do it every week with you guys, but I get to do the main line, so.
Right, but no, you kind of got that .com down.
I like to share the wealth.
Really fast, Lisa said, if we already talked about poo, shit, and jerking off, what else are we going to talk about?
Right?
Good question.
We did not touch on jerking off yet.
Well, I asked Johnny if he jerks off in the studio
yes,
when no one's
that's right.
here. Because basically what I would do, I mean, if this were my studio, and actually is Johnny's studio, there's a big TV up there, there's a TV there.
That is true.
There's computer monitors that could be turned. Like, you could literally be watching every genre, like every type of porn. You could have like some, double penetration there and whatever floats your boat on each of the screens. Right. And you could just sit back here behind the table and be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, but in the other room, I've got my virtual reality goggles.
Oh.
That's true. And your fleshlight. So I get it.
I need to ask seriously. Have you done porn on your virtual goggles?
I'm only kidding. I don't have the virtual reality.
You know what? We need to find someone.
It just made a good joke,
We need to find someone who actually does that to let us know if it's as immersive.
If it works, yeah.
As
I think it would only work like, when you go into, for example, at Adventure Dome, they have a 4D feature where something else happens. So it's aside from the regular 3D where like air puffs up or they splash you with water. I really feel that's only effective if it's in 4D. Like if at the end somehow like a cum splob like
you have to
squirts out in your face.
You have to plug your fleshlight into the virtual reality.
Isn't there a movie where you put on the suit and it's got these little pressure points in it, and then you put on the 3D glasses and the thing moves your... Maybe that was a Star Trek episode.
I was going to say.
I believe there was a Geordi in a Star Trek episode had the suit on that he could feel the fire and... But I think that's close to being a reality, where there's a suit that you wear that if somebody grabs your arm, the suit tenses up on your arm, and that would be kind of awesome.
So then you're controlling it, and you're like, 7.
For those of you in chat or watching, I know you get the reference. Post it below.
I think you're thinking of the movie Ready Player One.
I don't think I've seen that one. This was with one of those brothers that usually does. It's the other brother that doesn't do the high Shakespeare. Red-haired. Are you
talking about the?
I don't know these people.
Chadwick's? No. What the fuck's their name?
Not the Branaghs either. But
I know. I might know who you're talking about. Really quick, by the way, just before the show started, I don't know if you're at the table yet, but I didn't have a pen. And I looked over and I'm like, can I use one of your pens? And Sierra's like,
no. I'm the same way. In fact, I carry.
Can I go to write with? And she's still like, cricket.
I carry a couple of WWDB TV pens in my purse when people ask me for a pen, so they don't get any of my fancy pens.
So I asked her for this. I go, is that my pen? Because these are the exact pens I use. And she's like, that's my pen. And I remembered after, like, we had this argument before because she thought I had her pen. We use the same ones. But yes, never, apparently, ever ask Sierra to use any of this. I'm apparently lucky I get to use this one.
She's lucky you just didn't grab one with her laying. I'm usually very selective of where I put my pens when I have them out. I put them close to me, not where people can grab them.
I have met you all. I knew to ask.
I have been known to slap a hand away from a pen.
I was thinking like I'd be karate chopped.
Lisa got it. Yes, that was a Friends reference.
Yeah, from Friends.
Usually when I lay all this out, people people are just far too intimidated to even reach for anything. I'm like, what do you need a blusher for? Lisa Frank blusher.
I was just going to say, I like your Lisa Frank blush brush.
It's for sweeping away my little eraser nubbins.
What about for your blush?
I have 2 of these, actually. So I have one that I use for sweeping away my eraser nubbies, and one that I use for putting on.
It's glue.
Oh my gosh.
That's a fancy glue. I'm buying that glue.
Fancy glue. Holy crap.
It's pretty amazing glue. But we're
This is your kid's college tuition, like right
Look, we got
here.
to sneak Bujo stuff in.
Honestly,
while Toxi's on the show.
it's like $8. That was $3. These were free. That was $2. These were the most expensive at $4 a piece. I think that was like $4.
But if you had to estimate, for both of you, if you had to estimate your Bujo collection, like if you had to insure it, in case something ever happened, what would it be valued at?
Mine is approximately $150 right now.
I don't believe that's all yours is.
That's it.
With the pens and the books and everything?
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're going to have to re-up that.
Maybe about 200. Pens itself is about 150. And I'm adding more because I don't have the whole color collection of the brush pens yet.
What about you?
I do have the whole color collection of the brush pens.
And they're $14 a set.
Well,
and there are
I don't
7
think I paid
sets.
that much. I think I
13, anywhere from 12 to 14.
OA. We haven't watched it yet.
What's that?
Sorry, I've been busy.
What's that?
The OA. It's a Netflix show.
Oh.
Season 2 dropped, and I hear it's
You're
amazing.
cute. I saw you post on her thing about watching it too. You need someone to talk to about it, don't you?
Have you seen it?
I tried. You talked about it once, so I tried an episode. If I lasted 37 seconds, that would probably be a record.
Too
I'm
sci-fi
probably
for you?
exaggerating. It's too sci-fi. Yeah.
It's really out there.
Sci-fi.
Whatever it
It's
is,
sci-fi-ish.
It's yeah.
It's Twilight Zone-ish. It's
not reality.
fantasy.
So
Not really fantasy. It's a weird. It's not quite sci-fi. It's not quite fantasy.
It's not quite horror.
It's not quite horror. It's a weird thing all on its own, and that's probably why I like it so much.
I watched the first season of it.
Yeah.
I saw so many similarities of a lot of the other shows that were out there.
Yeah.
Watch season 2.
Okay.
So anyway, back to how much my
Okay.
Bujo costs.
Watch it all the way to the end.
Okay.
So if we're going to go into, are we going to talk about everything I
I'm
have?
talking about everything. Everything Bujo.
Probably close to $1,000.
I would assume. Thank
Seriously?
you. That's more what I thought it would be.
I have the paper cutter. I have the score table.
Oh,
I have the
that's
light
right.
box.
She's got
She has
she has
the
tape.
cock.
Of course she has the cock. She has the cart. She has a cart.
That's the cock.
That's
the cock.
Is that a cock?
It's the compartmentalized organizational craft cart.
We get that from one of our favorite Bujo group is called Inappropriate Bullet Journaling or something like that.
Yeah.
But that thing is like ginormous. It's grown like additional compartments on the compartments. Like it's the biggest craft.
They have a new one that
roller
has a
thing
lid.
for a fucking book, by the way. For a fucking book.
I have.
But look
That
how
is all for the book.
But look how pretty this book is.
Oh no, I don't.
I mean,
doubt
you
that.
can't tell me
No,
that
it
it's
is,
not
it
worth
is.
it, right?
But again, the size of her cart in relation to the end product.
Yeah, my end product is not nearly as nice as hers is.
Look at that one.
No, yours
This is
is
my
nice.
new
I'm
favorite
not saying
page.
it's not nice. Aw, that's awesome. Did you draw that in?
What, the pictures?
Or is it
These?
glued in?
Those are glued in. So,
Not using my fancy glue.
no.
Unfancy
Using some
glue.
Elmer stick glue, which will probably tear my page up in 20 million years.
I mean, you guys have beautiful Bujos. I gotta say, y'all have beautiful Bujos. But
It's gorgeous. Look at. There's fucking nothing on it.
but that's a blank one.
This
Go back
is-
to your other
This
one.
is this week.
This is my SinCityBounty
Good
page.
week.
Yeah. See, I don't have. It's not nearly enough.
She's fancy. She's
You
just
want me to
fancy
go
as
back a week?
fuck. She's fancy as fuck.
That's last week. That's the week before. I've not been doing very well lately in Bujoing.
Oh,
to
I
be
mean, I
honest.
gotta admit, I'm kind of.
So for those of you,
expecting a little more there, girl.
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know, Bujo is a shortened term for a concept called bullet journaling, and current bullet journaling is a do-it-yourself keeper, planner, what have you. And there are so many variations on the Bujo. And bullet journal is actually a trademarked term by this guy.
So bullet journaling, in its very essence, is a very simple thing. And I'm getting kind of back to the simpleness, clearly, by the fact that there's nothing on this fucking page. But there is art bullet journaling, which is more like what Elexia does.
Mm-hmm.
And there's everything in between. So there's people, like, I use a lot of stickers in my book because I don't have the time to doodle like she does. I know people who use a shit ton of washi tape.
Did she just make it sound like I have nothing in my life except doodling?
But I mean, I'm gonna admit, for as much as I make fun of y'all with the Bujos, it's a little bit beyond doodling.
Okay.
It's her art. It's her art source.
I know.
So
And I know
I will say that
she works on it a lot more than I do. Most of last year's, if you looked at everything up to, I don't know, September maybe, it looked a lot like her.
Yeah,
So
you were
there was
on
a
it.
lot of
So
art.
here's what it's like to be around them. Hey, are we doing anything on this date? Hold on.
That's exactly what it is.
And then they're comparing each other's, and they're like, "Have you entered this on?"
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
do you have? And then do you have that? And I'm just sitting here like,
Ooh, I love the sparkles.
I'm like, you're gonna give me a date, and then you're gonna have to remind me the day before. Like, that's my Bujo.
That's become my default job because of it.
Yeah, if I don't have mine,
kind
I
of
don't have
it.
to worry about it because I know she's got all my dates.
There's
90% of them.
there's
Right,
a group
'cause
that
a
we
lot of
belong
yours
to,
match.
and we always want to honor everybody's birthday. So the day before or the day of, I send out a text to everybody. Today is so and so's birthday. Yada yada yada. It's my job.
You guys, you're so cool. You know how I remember birthdays?
Facebook reminders.
Facebook. And I don't even check the reminders. If I see other people, like when someone posts, they're like, "Thank you for all the birthday wishes," and I'm like, "Oh fuck, it was my mom's birthday."
I'm going to tell you the reason that I used to carry around a little planner calendar thing all the time anyway, and I was always doctoring it up to make it
Pretty?
styly, for me. Because I just go to Office Max to get that cheap-ass ring one, with the pleather cover on it or whatever. But when I discovered the Bujo world, it's an outlet to do my art. I don't get a chance to sit there and take like a lot of time to do art. I do about half as much as I would like to do in my book. And then I can just look back and look at all the little pretty things that I've done and be proud of myself.
So I have a little.
It is a way to let out some creativity. Every year I kind of pick a theme and sort of run with it. This year's theme is a little less intense than last year's, which was try to be creative every day, which I did good for about 9 months.
Margaret says, my writing supplies are donated by the school district.
So I will confess something, and we're going a ways back, but I actually used to be a Franklin Covey girl.
I love Frank. I did Franklin Covey for about 5 years.
I attended Franklin Covey seminars.
Wow, I didn't go that far.
I had like my binder. I used to be a trainer, and it's how I, tracked everything before doing it on my phone.
My biggest memory of my Franklin Covey years was I had the big thick book that was like this size, with the 3 rings and all the. But I had a bunch of journaling in there because that's what I do. Franklin Covey is just a system, binder, planner binder.
Condren shit.
Yes,
but
very.
But it's pre-Erin Condren.
Right.
And it's like an ABC model where you kind of rank the importance of your tasks.
Right. But an ex-boyfriend who I had gotten back together with, during the time that we were broken up, I slept with a really good friend of his. And he read it in my Franklin Covey.
So I didn't put that kind of shit in my Franklin Covey.
My books have always been everything.
Yeah.
I learned a term last year called zibaldone. The the medieval Venice merchants used to carry around these books, and they wrote everything in it, from business meetings to how pretty is this tree today, and little drawings. And then it became the commonplace book, which was popular from the 1800s and back to the medieval merchant, Venice merchant days. And so that's what I carry, is a Zibaldone, or an everyday commonplace book.
So I would carry mine everywhere. I would track like my trainings, my tasks, you know, what interviews I had, new hires coming on, what needed to be done, blah, blah, blah. But I would have to carry it everywhere because I would come up
In front of me.
in the strangest places with my ideas for training. So I would theme my trainings, and I would be in the shower, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to do it in the style of Jeopardy, because everybody wants to learn like insurance certificate language in the style of Jeopardy. And so like I'd hop out of the shower, go get my book, and like
Did you find, were you more organized when you were a Franklin Covey girl?
No, my book was a fucking mess.
Right.
Like there was shit hanging out everywhere, but it was, you know, now I'll set reminders and shit like that, or if I have an idea, like I'll put it on my phone. But also at my computer, I do a lot more with Outlook.
Right.
And scheduling things than I did back in that day.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm still a digital girl. My Google Calendar is chock full. It's got Johnny Fever's calendar on it. It's got my church's calendar on it.
You put my calendar on it, just
yeah, my Google Calendar has like 8 different calendars on it.
Yeah. So I'm still a digital girl, but there's nothing like breaking out your colorful pens and drawing little pictures. I love, love, love doing that.
And Margaret, I was the queen of Post-it notes everywhere. Now it's on my phone. I'm still a Post-it girl. I'm Post-its on Post-its on Post-its. My Post-it needs 2 Post-its to...
Alexia's notebooks used to be Post-it notes that she would just move around inside the notebook. I remember that.
I have, so as a Wiccan, witch, for those of you who don't know what a Wiccan is, there's a book called A Book of Shadows, right? Developed by Gardner back in the day. And it's where you put all your spells and you keep all your note-taking on magical stuff. I have one that is called Interim. It's a Book of Shadows called Interim. And it's between the time I find out the information and I put it into my Book of Shadows, and everything in that book is on Post-it notes.
It's a book full of Post-its.
It is a book of Post-its.
I feel right at home. So I have to share something not Bujo or Post-it related. That's related to the show.
I cannot believe we covered Bujo on this show with you at the table.
I know.
That's kind of awesome. We always wait
that
till
went
you're
on
not
way
here.
too long.
Next, it'll be Star Wars.
That went on way too long.
Oh, I got to slide in.
I'll go take a shit if
Did
that's
you hear?
what's happening.
Were you able to hear? I slid in some Star Trek.
She did.
No, I was pooping.
Yeah, you missed it. So, you weren't here 2 weeks ago, and we had of course, the Incredible Thor on. By the way, that picture with us, like, you look really good in that, like, pose next to him. You're all smoky.
Look really good in that.
And I'm there just like...
Thor looked amazing in that.
I have to not touch him.
You can touch him. He likes that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could. But... on the show, we talked about what I've talked about many times and just haven't done it. I'm just going to get down and do it, but we talked about selling panties. And so, you know, I've talked about it. I just haven't done it. We even had somebody in chat speak up, like they sell theirs for $50. Thor sells his for $55. He mentioned ways to do it and all of that. So when we do the show, you know, many out there don't know, but you can't hear anything out of this room. Like, it's turned off. They can't hear it out there. But many times my teenage daughter is out front because she's with me and she's out there. She has her headphones on. She's doing homework and all this. So...
Ooh, did we remember to turn the monitors off out there?
You guys have gotten me on that so many times. So during the week... Just within the past week, my daughter comes up and she's like, Mom, I have a really great idea for you. She's like, you know, I know you're stressing about paying for college. You got to sell your panties. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Is she listening?
I'm like, wait. And I'm like, you know you're not allowed to watch the show. You know you're not. When you're 18, you can go back and do it if you want. But until then, she's like, I didn't watch your show. And I'm like, no, she purposely chooses not to watch stuff like that. She's fucking watching Punky Brewster or something on Netflix. What? She just watches stuff.
Meanwhile, my 13-year-old is whacking it on the living room couch to the porn that I find on his phone regularly.
Yeah, so mine's not. If it's adult content, she quickly turns it off on her own. And like sometimes she'll come to me and she's like, Mom, I accidentally went on this, but you could see when you check my history that I was only on there for like 3 seconds, and I realized like that it was adult content and it was inappropriate, and I clicked off. Like that's who my daughter is. So it's surprising that she's a product of me. But anyway, so serious as can be, she's like, you gotta sell your panties. I'm like, what? You don't watch the show, you know better. And she's like, I didn't watch your show. And I'm like, are you out there listening? Can you hear? Because, you know, I've checked. And I'm like, can you hear? She's like, can I hear what? And I'm like, we talked about this on the show. And so she's like, no, I read it. And I'm like, where'd you read it? Online. And I'm like, whatever. I'm still thinking like she clicked on the show, you know, as Thor's talking about pissing in women. So anyway, I'm like, what? Like, I don't understand. Why we want blah, blah, blah. And I kept going on. And she's like, Mom, I read it in Glamour magazine. And I'm like, whatever. And she's like, you can also have people sniff your armpits for like $125. And sure as fuck,
Glamour magazine.
I went to Glamour magazine. And it just came out the other day. And it's talking about college students doing it, and that takes me into another subject beyond, but you know, it's about a college student. She earns extra money waitressing, retail, dog walking, but about $1,700 a month she makes selling her lightly used underwear and socks on Craigslist. It then goes into about the fact that her kinky cash stream gets more interesting from there. She has a keen eye for income growth opportunities in the world of Craigslist. Craigslist fetish. Extended wear will cost clients extra, as will selfies, but her biggest cash bonus was even more personal. After one of my regular underwear clients opened up to me about his armpit fetish, I made an extra, I was wrong on the dollar amount. I made an extra $500 by allowing him to smell my armpit. Wow. We met up, I was pretty much fully clothed, and I let him smell it for like 15 minutes.
What, was it like at a Denny's or, I mean, the local Starbucks? Because that's where I meet my clients.
I mean, like, I'm almost positive you could probably just find a really private place in a park.
I'm sure.
And just sit there like this.
But would you go to a park with a stranger?
For $500?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
That is 2 months of car payments.
You taking my 6'5" nephew with you so he can stand on the edge
Sierra
of the park?
with me. She'll sit back in the bushes with one of her rifles. Or with that, what's that thing you have on your wall?
The axe?
Like
or the sword?
Batleth?
Yeah, one of those.
Do you have a batleth?
I don't have a batleth. Surprisingly, I do not have a batleth.
I know what I'm getting someone for Christmas.
Woo!
So...
Now accepting all batleth donations.
So now...
That was another Star Trek reference, by the way.
So anyway...
So now your daughter
magazine.
So are you going to do
like
this?
I have my marketing guru out in the other room.
Would you let her help you market?
No. I wouldn't let her have any part in it.
Except to pay for her college with it.
Except to pay for her college with it. I just have to sell a lot of panties. And, like, I'd have to have good product because somebody's not going to actually pay that much for my panties. Like, the only reason they pay so much, you know, they pay $55 for Thor is because it's Thor. And the other woman is also in the adult industry, and she gets $50. So, I mean, I'm probably going to get, like, I don't know, $17 if I'm lucky. But, I mean, I'll try. I'll produce some good product. And
you know, all we need to do
if you put your picture out with underneath saying, my underwear is for sale, you would get a lot of sales.
You could probably sell it through Toxi's page.
You could.
That's what he said. I need to use my Twitter.
You could be. So, I used to work in retail, and I would do what marketing was back in the day. It's not what it is now. But you know the impulse buys at the counter. Yeah. You know, like the Cadbury eggs.
Yeah, I buy all that
shit. You could be the impulse buy of panties. That's what you only charge $9.99. But if you sell thousands of them, as opposed to Thor's
so I'm more volume.
Like 500, you know,
I'm more volume. So I'm panty volume versus. They're still gonna be good quality.
You are the impulse buy of dirty panties.
Okay, all right.
You do also have to buy panties to, like, So
to make money. So I got that. So I'm going to have to find a reasonable panty supply. But I feel the first ones I'm going to sell off. I shared this story again, one of my favorite accidental stories of donating all my used panties to Goodwill. So I've had because I only wear them from one place and they're a little pricey, I've been, circulating the same ones for a little while. So those are going to go first.
So Vendetta says, meeting a stranger in a park for armpit sniffing and $500 sounds like the beginning of a story on My Favorite Murder.
I mean, but if you're going to go, have it be a story like that. Like I was having my armpits sniffed. Number one, I'm not like going to some guy's dude and letting him smell it. Like some dude's house. I'll go in a park and then you'll have to be with me.
Yeah, I'll have my
And
sniper
vice
scope
versa.
from the car.
Yeah, and then when someone's sniffing your pits, I will totally.
Where do I go to advertise? Like, both of my jobs are very demanding. On my feet, I get sweaty and smelly jobs.
Break. You have to do it on break, and you're very.
I'm close to a park on one of my.
Yeah.
You are very close
So
to a
yours
park.
needs to be on your break.
I'd be like, between this time and this time, I will be available for pit sniffing in 20-minute
Yes!
sessions.
Let's do it.
2 20-minute sessions.
Let's do it.
A park is kind of just a giant unmarked grave. I totally agree with Vendetta.
It's not Central Park.
I'm telling you, there's
watching too
there's
much
also a
SVU.
McDonald's right by your house,
True.
You
or right
can't-
by your
What am I
work.
going to sit inside
You
McDonald's?
can't be in there like, I'd like a Big Mac.
Midday on a weekday, there are no kids in the play place.
No, there's shit.
There are
kids in
shit
the middle
tons of
the
kids in the
day.
play place.
That's where the people take their kids if they're like not in school.
What about
or
the
whatever.
lumber section of Lowe's?
No, I would rather just meet at like a park.
I think
I'm not
that's
getting
fine
a
if you're
hotel
meeting a
room.
lesbian.
What?
I don't. Oh,
The
a lumber
lumber
section
section
at
at
a
Lowe's.
Lowe's.
The dude has probably got to go to Lowe's anyway to pick up some screws, so might as well just meet him there. There's always the outdoor, you can buy bags of gravel in the garden area. Hardly anybody goes back there.
You mean the garden?
The last thing I need is the security guard at Lowe's who's checking the cameras to come wandering into the lumber section and be like, "Ma'am, what are you doing?"
And this was $500 for a 15. It has to be a 15-minute sniff.
Right.
Like you've got to sell that sniff in increments.
So you just lean up against the thing, and the guy can just stand in your armpit area. If the security guy comes, you can tell him the truth, because more than likely he's going to want to partake as well.
Sniff my pits? No.
I feel like it's a specialized
Listen, the
thing.
security guard at Lowe's cannot afford to sniff my pits.
No, listen. Alexia, I love you, but it's not like
Just
when a woman
don't
gets
go alone to the park.
It's not like she's not going alone. It's not like when a woman gets in the sex swing at the sex club and any guy who wants to can come up and do it. That's not what happens when you lift your armpit at Lowe's. Like people aren't going to line up waiting for their turn. They're not going to automatically know what this signifies and then get ready, condom in hand. Like
FYI, the
what
name
they're
of
gonna
tonight's
do.
show is Lifting Your Pits at Lowe's.
Just please don't go to a park alone.
I've seen people shoot
Take
at
someone.
McDonald's, so I'm okay with the pits.
What did they say?
Hey, FYI, I would just like to let you know that you really should not be advertising somebody else's thing on our show. It really tends to piss me off. And then I definitely guaranteed to not go check out whatever it is you want me to check out. Just so you know. This is not a place for you to advertise. We don't even advertise on this fucking show. So, not mentioning your comment, not visiting your thing.
If someone's gonna not make
Yeah, if
money
someone's
off
going to
of
advertise some shit on this show, it's going to be fucking us.
I'll forgive it for
$250?
yeah.
Now I actually know who the woman is.
I know who the woman is too, but I would not go on to their thing about them for their shit and advertise my fucking thing unless I was invited to. Just saying. We invite lots of people onto this show to advertise their thing. And if somebody wants to advertise their thing, all they got to do is contact
And I
us.
believe she asked to come on the show, and you're
Yes.
making arrangements for that, aren't you?
She did ask me that before.
Let it be. Let it go.
So
We-
we were
we
talking
do our
about
own
panties.
We're talking
and
about selling our
lows.
panties.
And Lowe's.
And
We're
Lowe's.
talking about our pit
Lifting
sniffing
your
lows.
pits.
So
What is it?
that's it.
What is it? Lifting your pits at Lowe's?
Yeah, lifting your
pits
pits at
and
Lowe's. Lifting your pits at Lowe's.
So,
So I would actually go in on the whole like selling panty thing with you because I've got bras.
Yeah, you need to sell bras.
You could charge
I got
a lot
nothing
for
on
bras.
I have to sell my bras. I shit you not. Okay. I needed a strapless bra for a gown that I have to wear on the 13th for prom. A thing we advertised about. And then I also need a new bra, and they had a matching panty set. So I would like to let you know I brought a bra, matching panties, and a strapless bra. That's it. 2 bras and a pair of panties. Would you like to estimate how much I spent after a 20% discount? $150. So if I'm going to sell my bras, you're going to have to pay at least $100 per bra. At
Yeah,
least.
but you can also like carry your laundry to the laundromat in them.
True that. You can use them as hat warmers. Siamese twins could use them as matching hats.
If you have twin babies, you could strap them to your back with it. Like this sling that people wear, but you could strap both babies in and probably put the family dog in it too.
True. $150.
They're big cups.
So,
Which is why I
ladies,
need
just so
gas
you
money.
know, a really good, this marketing thing, right? Really good way to help sell it is that not only do they get the panties or the bra, but they get a
need the
picture
photo.
of you wearing, working.
Well, that's extra.
And that's what Thor said
doing.
as well.
Yeah.
Well, Thor said he gets
He
55, and he includes a photo of him in them.
I can do that. I'm okay with taking a picture. Listen, there was like 3 years where every time we did this show, we showed our bras.
I would totally buy a bra that you wore or underwear that you wore if I could see them showing while you're working the forklift.
I probably
So
can't
we'd
do
like
that.
her to still remain employed because, again, we
No,
don't
no.
advertise on this show, meaning we make no money from
So,
advertising.
I don't need like you in just the panties or the bra, but you know, just pull your pants down a little so I can see them.
Can't do that because a forklift operator is never alone. You always have a spotter.
Damn it.
Unless you're in the back of the truck.
Yeah, unless
Her
you're
and
in the
her
back.
fucking safety. Don't talk. I think, aren't you the safety manager?
I'm telling you not to go
You're
to a
talking
park
to
alone.
the wrong person. You're talking to going to a park in the middle of the night is fine. Don't talk about neglecting safety on a forklift.
OSHA requirements are the shit, okay? You just got to follow the OSHA
Just so you know,
requirements.
forklift operators who do not operate their forklift properly will die. People who go to the park in the middle of the day with a friend who happens to also have a sniper scope are going to be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Safety.
Perfectly fine. What can happen at a park?
Especially when your friend is in the car with a sniper scope.
Exactly.
As long as that's happening, I'm okay with it.
That's what will happen.
That's it.
What I'll really do is I'll sit at another bench and I'll have my giant dog with me. And so all she will have to do is scream out his name and he will run over to her, and he's enormous and sort of scary looking if you don't know him.
He was pretty enormous, but he's gonna run up to somebody. He's gonna fucking lick them. Like they're not
But
gonna be afraid
if they're
of him.
going to turn
He's
around
gonna
and
come up
see
for
giant
cuddles.
dog running up to them, they will run away before giant dog arrives.
That's true. But when giant dog gets there, he's gonna be like, "Can we play? Can we play? What are we doing here? Are you a new friend? Can
But
we play?"
the hope is he'll be overly excited and run smack dab into them, which will knock them
True,
down,
knock
make
them
them pass out, and then he'll sit on them until the cops arrive.
And we're also gonna carry mace.
Yeah. And stun guns, and again, sniper scope.
Please just be
But
safe.
We're gonna be so safe on this. We got this.
Just have them come to your house.
It's
We're
truly
gonna
the
meet.
safest.
We're gonna meet him here at the studio. I mean, there's so much extra room.
got those rooms in the back.
Armpit sniffing space. Exactly.
We really
I
should.
love that there is now armpit sniffing codes of conduct. Lowe's is strict about that.
Are they?
Margaret's guessed 200. Close, Margaret. Almost.
Almost 150. Yeah. It was ridiculous. And I got a 20% discount.
Well, it would have been close to 200. Well, what is that? That's 25% off at
20.
150.
No. I got 20% off.
Yes.
And it was $150. It would have been like 180,
Right.
170.
So she was actually a lot closer.
She's a lot closer. But I did ask after my 20% discount.
True.
But yeah, but they're beautiful, by the way. My matching bra and panty set are
So let's
making a
talk
debut
about
this
prom.
Saturday. Prom. Yes, prom.
So let's talk about who's throwing it.
It is Crave LV, Crave Las Vegas, BBW, not really BBW, more like Size Acceptance Group in town. They're throwing a prom night, an adult prom night. They're encouraging people to come singly, but I have 2 dates.
What? Playa?
Hell yeah. I mean, I'm also sort of dating them, so I mean,
Right.
that's just kind of how it goes. But I have 2 dates.
That's cool.
That's how it goes.
Is one going to dress like a pirate? Because I love it when he dresses like a pirate.
No, because I have specifically asked that we go formal.
Oh.
He is going
There's
to
formal pirate wear.
He is going to be going in what's called leather formal, so that's going to be kind of hot.
So what's leather formal?
So he has a really, really nice set of leather boots that he's going to blouse his pants up to, which means you'll be able to see the whole leather boot, not just the foot part of it.
So what does blouse your pants mean?
So, and when I was in the military, we had these little stretchy straps, and I know that they used to be like zip tie shit or whatever when y'all were old. But we have little stretchy elastic straps now. You put them on the bottom of your thing, and you kind of roll it up, and it helps keep it tight to your leg, and it creates this little kind of blousing effect. Here, Johnny's going to show you. Yeah, that's blousing.
Cuffing.
No, cuffing is when it's rolled outwards.
Do you remember, the bottom of sweats, when they have the elastic at the bottom?
Right.
And the bottom of the pant leg would blouse. That's what it's called.
So I never heard of that.
Blousing.
I call it cuffing.
So he's going to wear some really, really nice leather boots. He's going to blouse his pants. He's wearing an ascot. It's very fancy.
This is for you. So you've got 2 dates to the prom.
2 dates to the prom.
The prom is, of course, like she said, by Crave LV. It is happening on April the 13th, which is Saturday, right?
Yes.
April 13th, which is Saturday.
It is formal wear. It is not show up in jeans and a t-shirt. This is a formal attire event.
Although I believe, and Abby's not on because she's up with Katie right now.
Right.
I believe you don't have to be formal, but I'd confirm that with Katie.
You can go onto Facebook and
Crave
find Crave LV. You can go to their website, CraveLV.com. They have a group that you can go into. You can buy your tickets in advance. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, you can buy them
tickets in advance.
They're available now.
I wish I could share a picture in chat. I want you all to look at Google men in military uniform BDUs and look at how their pants are in relation to their shoes. Their pants are not tucked into their boots. They're bloused. That's what it looks like. It does not look like MC Hammer pants. It doesn't look like a whatever. It's a very professional military style of wearing your pants.
So I'm going to tell you what I think of whenever I hear the term bloused pants. I think of ancient Persians.
That's not even the same.
It is. Their pants were the same
it's not.
outside of their boots.
But they're puffier. Blousing, and that's not what it was called back then. And I actually don't think their pants are long. They're short. Blousing your pants is a way of keeping your long pants from inside your boots or over the top of your boots. It's a military thing. I mean, it's not strictly military, but yeah.
So tickets are $15.
Yep.
But if the pre-tickets, I believe, are $10, you could get a code. And so Saturday, so this is at Ninja Karaoke. And I went to Ninja Karaoke at the last one. And it's fucking amazing. I really like that place.
There's going to be karaoke at the prom?
No.
Oh.
One side is the event, and they have this huge open area out back. The other side is you can come in with groups and rent a karaoke room. So like, let's just say the three of us want to go do karaoke. We rent a karaoke room for 3 hours. Or for an hour. It's just us in that room.
That's traditionally how karaoke is done. The karaoke you see done at bars here is an American thing. Karaoke is done in groups, privately in rooms. That's how it's traditionally done.
So that's what the other side of the building.
So you can get shit-faced and sing shitty songs.
But that's the location.
Yeah.
It's the
Is
name
a
of the
business
location.
called
Ninja Karaoke.
Ninja Karaoke.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and the karaoke is a whole separate. Like, don't worry, you'll know as soon as you walk in. Karen, Julie, they'll all be right there at the front.
So Sierra's going for sure. She's got it all planned. She's got her dress. She's got her
I do
dates.
have my dress.
You going?
No,
No?
Mm-mm.
I will not be going either.
I'm not a dressy person.
So.
I gotta take my dress in for alterations.
Marissa says she's so excited about prom. She has never been to one. Did you go to your high school prom?
Yes. My color scheme for this prom is almost the exact same as my color scheme for my high school prom. Black and blue.
Did you go to your high school prom?
I did. I went with my high school boyfriend.
Wow. I also went to my prom. It was one of the only ones I went to. Dances. I wasn't a big dance kid back then either, so.
So mine's not either. Mine is so not a dance. Like, she's very anti...
Social?
Whatever. No, she's very anti what other teenagers do. So if they're all going to the dance, then the dance is super lame. But I begged her. I said, out of 4 years, you have to give me one dance. One dance is all I ask for. And she did this past homecoming.
And she looked amazing.
She was amazing. It's probably one of the photos that I have from homecoming is probably one of my favorite photos of her.
I do think if your kid is antisocial, you should try do what you can to convince them to go to at least one dance.
That's all I have.
In their career.
She's not antisocial. Again, like she has a lot of friends. She interacts with her friends. It's not the social aspect of it. It's not even the dance aspect of it. It's if it's what everyone's doing and it's the cool thing, she wants no part of it.
Right.
Like for Sadie's dance, they talked about it, and she's like, I mean, I guess I could go to Sadie's, but I don't want to go to the dance. So her and some friends got together. They paired up, wore matching shirts, and went to Adventure Dome instead of the actual dance.
If you're not a dancey kind of person and you don't really get along with a ton of other people, if you could go with your friends, that's one thing because at least you have someone to talk to. But most dances, to me, were a waste of time.
Just so you know, I went to damn near every single high school dance that there was to be had. Yeah, there was one Sadie's I missed, but I went to almost every single one of them. And most of the time,
have Sadie's. I didn't know what it was till out here.
Yeah, Sadie's is a very Western thing because Sadie Hawkins is a very Western kind of thing. I don't know why. Most of my East Coast friends never heard of Sadie's.
Yeah, no, we didn't have that shit.
But I went to almost all the dances, and I had a date for most of them. There's very few I didn't have dates for. And my prom was amazing. We talked about this when we were first talking about prom. I was very goth in high school. As a matter of fact, I was the kid in all black with black hair, black fingernail polish, no makeup, pasty white, 75 necklaces, putting little paper roses on our homecoming float because I was also in the pep club.
That's amazing to me because you just don't seem like the pep club kind of person.
I was the pep club kind of person. I was a flag twirler for one season of marching band. Like that was it. Like I tried everything.
That's awesome.
I looked and dressed exactly like you would think I would look in. Like if I showed you a prom photo, you would go, if I had to draw a prom photo of you, that's what I would draw.
Yeah, I went with all my goth friends to prom, and my boyfriend who didn't go to the same high school as us, even though I didn't ask him to prom. I asked somebody else to prom, but they said no, so then I asked him to go. I've been polyamorous my whole life. So we went very gothed out. My hair was still jet black at the time. I think I'd cut it short at this point because I knew I was going into the military.
Hold on. You were a goth in the pep club?
Yes. I shit you not. I was sweating my balls off in my Black Sabbath t-shirt and
that
black
is a
jeans.
whole comic strip.
Yeah. It was just me. I didn't wear makeup, so I wasn't like the goth eyeliner, but I was black hair, black fingernail polish, all the necklaces.
I think you have a photo in your house.
Yeah.
Where you're in. You're if I'm not mistaken, it's the one with your siblings.
I can just see her.
And you look like
Be happy, motherfucker.
Yeah. Enjoy school spirit, bitch! Anyway. Yeah, so, and my best friend one of my best friends in high school, her boyfriend was older than us, so, I mean, of course, we had alcohol, but he came in a top hat and coat and tails and had a silver tip cane. This is in the 90s, and we all were just goth dressed out, and there was like 6 of us just like totally dressed up to be goths at the prom. Everyone else is in their prom dresses and their hair and their makeup and the la la la. My nails were so dark blue, most people thought they were black. My dress was a short blue, rockabilly-esque, very goth dress. Like, we did not show up normal.
Goth rockabilly?
In the 90s, too. So
Can I change the name of this episode to Goth and a Pep Club?
Goth in a Pep Club? Sure, that's fine.
We're very blurry to you guys. Our
That's
screen
because
isn't
you put
blurry.
it so far away from us.
We look good on our screen. Let's see. I thought it was I only went to one dance in high school, and it was the Sadie dance, and I only went because she had already bought the tickets. That was the beginning of your obligation training.
Yeah.
Lisa says, I went to my prom with a group of 8 or 9 girls. We all danced together and had a blast. That's usually the best way to go to prom. That way you don't have to worry about the stigma of being turned down or whatever.
No, we're way too blurry.
I was kind of lucky that
You see our video? How blurry
for
we
me,
are?
like all my friends.
You want me to move it closer?
And their boyfriends.
No, we only got 5 minutes
My
left.
boyfriend and all that, we all got along. So kind of all hung
Tim
out.
says, I had guy liner for a bit in high school, but it was the aughts, so most of us did.
True. You guys were rolling right off of Green Day. What's his name in his guy liner in the late 90s?
So I was in high school in the 80s, and Adam Ant.
Yeah, and his guy liner.
And his guy, oh my God, any dude wearing eyeliner was, because it was also big hairband guys. And all those guys wore eyeliner.
I
loved big hair bands.
I was also a total fucking wastoid for dudes who would wear eyeliner in public. I'd be like, oh, I was like a all the way through high school.
Were you a big cocksucker in high school?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't going to fuck him, so I might as well give him a blowjob.
Did you get anything in return?
I'm terrible at hand
fingered in the
jobs.
back of the bus?
Yeah. No, not in the back of the bus.
I didn't even touch a penis till I was out of high school.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't lose my virginity till I was 17, but I sure did give plenty of blowjobs and hand jobs in high school.
One of the first times I got to touch a penis.
Hand jobs,
I think it was just right between junior high and high school.
What?
9th grade, 10th grade, right there. I put my hand down this guy's Levi's, because Levi's 501s were the thing back then.
Of course.
And I put my hand, and he was going commando, and his penis was huge, and I literally gasped.
No.
I was like,
these are little kid penises we're talking about.
It was,
No.
It was one of my. It is one of my most treasured penis moments.
What's my most treasured penis moment? Now we need to come up with a treasured, precious penis moment.
That's too much pressure for me. Too much pressure.
Do you have a precious penis moment? That's your precious penis moment.
That's my precious penis moment.
I need a precious penis
It is my
moment.
most precious penis
I
moment.
can't narrow that shit down.
You've had a lot of precious penises?
I might have had some precious penises. What can I say? I mean, maybe I didn't have them through high school, but since then I made up for it.
I'm gonna tell you, we were the same age. We were in the same class, so he was my age, and his penis was fucking huge.
No.
I love making her weirded out. I'm really trying to contemplate my precious penis moment.
I think it would be one of those where it just surprised the hell out of you, like, well, damn.
So you will remember this guy. I dated him a while ago. He was the long-haired guy.
With the trench coat in summer? That guy?
No, not that guy.
Oh.
Again, totally my type. No. Do you remember when I held my knife to that one dude's throat because he belittled the other dude that I was banging while I was with my girlfriend? That's how complicated my life is. That guy. Not the guy I held the knife to, but the other guy.
So what was the penis part of that?
He had an enormous penis, and it was until I had banged the guy whose throat I held the knife to, it was the biggest penis I had seen.
Really quick, Tim's.
I was a little crazy in my early 20s, and it was really early 20s. I don't even think I was 20. I was not 21 yet. I was between 19 and 20 during all of this madness.
Tim said when I heard it was between middle and high school, I initially thought, well, those buildings should not be so close together.
If you've ever been to school in a small town, sometimes they're all like back to back.
Yes.
No, I'm from a small town. They're nowhere fucking near each other. Ours were spread out.
I went to Air Force Base High School, junior,
Did you?
elementary, junior high and high school, and they were all together. I was only in junior high and elementary and junior high.
Mine were all on a campus.
Yes.
So they were all there. But these buildings were nowhere near each other.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
ours were like all right there.
The high school has its own sports fields, big, huge stadium.
I went to elementary school in Grand Prairie, Texas. Just so you all know, I attended David Crockett Elementary School,
Nice.
which is attached to David Crockett Middle School, which is attached to David Crockett High School.
And they all
Nice.
touch each other?
There's one hallway that runs all the way through the mall. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's a place called Grand Prairie, Texas.
But still, I've worked in Grand Prairie.
Yeah.
Not physically, but I've recruited in Grand
Well,
Prairie.
it all depends on the size of the town. I mean, mine was on an Air Force base. There's a limited area for the schools,
Right.
and that was it. So
Yeah, small town, limited area for the schools.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think the junior high and the high school shared the soccer field.
Yeah, no, we had all, and again, I come from a small town, but I mean, one thing we had is space, so.
Yeah, no.
Are we
You
out of
know, you
time?
gotta be farmers.
Yeah,
and
we're out of
shit.
time. We've been out of time.
Oh, are we done?
We're done. Tune in next week. We will come up with a great name for that show, too. Tonight's show is called Goth and a Pep Club, just so you know. I love that phrase so much.
Goth and a Pep Club.
I'm Elexia.
Toxi.
And I'm a Goth and a Pep Club.
We'll see you next week.
If you're brave enough.
Later, bitches.
So just so you know, we cannot do the ending of this show.
I saw last week